I live to fight for the rights for every human being. We are seen as people who are using culture to oppress women.
When do you think all of that changed? And are there still places in the KZN that still uphold that culture?
We drink like fishes now.
What does being a South African man in 2025 mean to you? Do you think it's possible to live off acting comfortably in South Africa?
What is very difficult with the South African politics is that we are in a country of promises.
Hello, hi, welcome back to Conversations with Muhle. Today we have got Prince Phuma Dlamini.
Yes.
Who is Prince Phuma?
Prince Phuma Dlamini is just a man who was born and bred in KZN, a place called Mandeni, Sondombili Township, in the early 70s.
Okay.
Yeah, so I grew up there. My primary school, my high school. Even when I started to work, there around my home. So that's me before moving here in the early 2000s. Yes.
Okay. If your life had a soundtrack, what song would play when you walk into the room?
There is one song that I always play, even if I travel the world.
Okay.
Played by Mfokamshengo, Umandoza, Kalagat, because I believe this. I am also in Kalagat because I fought battles and I've always come out top in all of them. That's why I regard myself as one of not so famous in Kalagat.
Okay. And also, what's the one thing that people get wrong about you at first glance?
I look very, very old.
Okay.
My appearance.
I didn't expect that.
And I've decided to play those roles where I would play a very old character. I remember when I was in Durban Gen, they were looking for a person who is between 60 and 70 years. In my early 50s, I got that role because of my hair. And I know because I decided to take those roles because there are few people who are 60 to 70 years in our industry. So I said, no, let me just go for that. Yes.
Do you remember your very first audition? What were you wearing and how did it go?
I never went to any audition, to be honest. I remember that when I joined this industry, in 2018.
Okay.
When I joined here, I was just invited by a friend who was called to work as a feature actor in Rhythm City. I remember that it was a kilowatt business that was owned by Suffocate. Yes. So, because I was working a job that required me to wear suits, he just said, "Hey, Mr. Dlamini, you have a lot of suits. They want a person with a suit there. Just go there."
Just go.
Yeah, I went there. Oh, I was in front of the camera then. We were playing. That's how it started. Then I realized that no, man, I was born to do this thing. When I was looking at him to do sitting in front of me, I told myself that, but I'm supposed to be a competitor to him to do his so why am I coming here to support him in what he's doing? Because I grew up with this thing. If I can just give you a bit of my background, I grew up in a township theatre, very strong. I have been to any college of education in KZN doing theatre. By the time we had a cast in Mandeni that was directed by brother Tumsani Stephen Zondi, who is now based in Wamashu, helping Ubabu Edmund Mhlongo, Lapa a K-Cap. So I've done this thing in such a way that I was invited by Oprah Gibson Kente to come to do this thing here in Johannesburg. I had to join the cast that hosted the likes of Siyabonga Twala, Sandile Dlamini, There Mntase, and a lot of well-known stars here in the industry. But when I arrived in Johannesburg, my mother phoned me to come back home because he didn't want anything to do with Johannesburg, because there were a lot of infighting, violence that was coming from the political instability in the country. So I have to travel back before even starting to work with the Oprah Gibson Kente. But just to be recognized by that gentleman, I think he is the beacon of acting in the Township Theatre. I think I did very well in my youth. After being turned down by my own mother, I have to go back home. Then I started working in the factories, because where I am staying, we are surrounded by a lot of factories.
Yeah. Okay, and what year was that when you came to Joburg?
It was 1991.
1991.
Yes, it was 1991. I think I would have been known as a legend right now if I started.
Definitely, that's almost 30 years. Yes. In fact, it is over 30 years.
Yes.
It would have been over 30 years of acting.
Yes.
Okay, and if you had to swap characters, if you had to swap lives actually with one of your characters, which one would it be for 48 hours?
I think Prasoli at Scandal.
Okay.
Yeah,
why Prasoli?
Yeah, because we are not far off with the Prasoli, because he is the gentleman. I'm also a gentleman. He is a religion person. I'm also a religion person under the Christianity ministry. He has the background of firearms. I had that background myself. Because of the violence, we had to be taken to be trained as the young men in the townships to defend ourselves. So, personally, we have a lot in common with him. It's not like where I was portraying the character of the traditional healer in Durban Gen. Yes, no, that one is too far from me, but as an actor, I have to do it, and I think I did it very well.
Okay, so you played in Scandal, Durban Gen, Black Door. How has your storytelling changed as with each character?
I think because I'm fortunate enough to be given different characters, it has helped me a lot to grow. Because my first, after that Rhythm City scenes, which I think it was only for 2 days, I got a role to be a traditional healer in a Mzansi Magic movie. It was called Gok Flow.
Okay.
Yes.
I think yes, I remember Gok Flow.
Yes, Gok Flow. Yes. I was a traditional healer there. A traditional healer that is an advisor to the king. I was advising the king. Yes. Thereafter, I have to come back and become a pastor in Black Door, which is opposite to
what a traditional healer is.
So that helped me a lot to adjust from being traditional to be now religious. Then when I was starting to enjoy myself as a religious leader at Black Door, I have to go back to Durban to portray a traditional healer again. Then I come back there. I have to be now a security guard. Yeah, it was a second show for me to be a security guard. I started in this day. You remember there was this show I always forgot the name, but it's for Tando Tabete, where she's wearing these overalls as a domestic worker.
I remember it used to play on Sundays on Zanzi Magic.
On
I
Zanzi
remember
Magic.
it. I'm going to put it down for you guys. Yes, I remember it.
It's for Tando Tabeta. I was working there as a security guard, yes. Then, boom. I got this role again. Most of the time when I got the roles, the only audition that I do is a self-tape auditions. Okay. I never even attended. I remember one day trying to go and do an open interview for Mandla N. The queue, it was amazing. I said, no, I cannot wait for 20,000 people. I said, no, I'm not going to do this thing. I only do safe tapes most of the time, where I'll just pause in my room and self-tape, or ask my wife or my daughter, please take me this video, a 2 minutes video, then I'll just send it. They'll say, oh, okay, we like it, come and do it. But physically, I normally don't do it.
Okay, and what stories do you feel most drawn to as an actor?
You see, there's this new show that is coming up on BET. It's called the Black Gold. I like what is happening there because it's the lifestyle that I grew up with in KZN, and it is even being established in Mpangeni, in KZN, Gwelezane, the places that I know, and the lifestyle, the way we portray that family, the Zungu family, and those people are from the royal family in Mpangeni. I know them, so I fit in very, very well there. I enjoy it now after all these roles that I've done before.
Okay. And do you ever see parts of yourself? Well, I guess you just answered it now, but I wanted to ask: do you ever see parts of yourself in roles that you play, or do you completely have to transform?
Most of the time, I transform, but this one now, as well as Upra Soli, because of those common factors I've just mentioned, I think I've seen myself in Soli as the Zungu brother now, a brother to the deceased Zungu elder brother. I also see myself in this one.
Okay. What unexpected shoot have you ever had? Like where you're like, okay, and maybe uncomfortable. Have you ever had an uncomfortable one?
Yes, it happened. As you were asking, it just came to my mind. Yeah, it was at the Black Door when I was supposed to make love to this woman who used to attend church. I even knew her husband. Her husband could spend a lot of time at the Black Door because the Black Door was the club. So every time he was tired, so his wife, as a churchgoer, coming to complain to me every time that, no man, I'm not getting anything at home. It's been very, very long. I'm a human being. My body needs something. What can I do for this? And
Mfundisi took advantage.
But fortunately for me, I didn't do that part because I have to get a better offer in Durban. I have to quickly go down to Durban and do Ukobelo Babumoyeni. So another friend of mine who was from Uzalo, as
took that role.
And he did it the way I planned. I will do it. But hey, I was so scared, but fortunately, my God said, no, you're not going to do that. Yeah.
Okay, and then are there any characters that you have played that have healed as a piece of you or have changed you?
I'll be lying. I'll be lying. I don't think there is any, because most of the time, as I said, that I am another person. Another person. I haven't found the role that will be 100% be like myself. Yeah, and solely never took long. Maybe if I come back to Scandal, because the character is still arrested, they can just anytime come,
bring him back,
and bring me back. But I think I enjoyed that one. It's more common to myself. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into you being an industrial relations practitioner. You're part of the World Peace Committee. How does peace, or what does peace look like to you on an everyday life?
Peace to me is when every human right is being respected. There will be no peace on earth if there is a stumbling on top of any person's human rights. If we can respect the woman, respect the constitution that is protecting the woman, respecting the constitution when he is telling us to respect the rights of the children, even with men, I think there will be peace on earth. I started this thing after being involved in a lot of disputes. When I was doing these labor relations disputes, I could feel that the employers most of the time were not respecting the rights of the employees, and at times the employees were not respecting the rights of the employers. Then every day I was at the CCMA or at the labor call defending the employees. At first I ended up even representing the employers because of money, but my heart was always been with the employees, because those are the people who are mistreated most of the time. Then I could tell myself, all these disputes that are taking place every day is because one person is not respecting the rights of the other. I said, no, let me not do this thing here only. Let me come out to the world and start teaching about this thing, especially women. I was awarded with the Zeus Award in Pretoria from the FEMRAM Foundation. It was just 2 weeks ago, because of the role that I play in making sure that a girl child is always at school, because we provide the menstrual cups for the kids who are based in the poverty-stricken communities.
That's beautiful. So let's talk about the World Peace Committee. What is the World Peace Committee? When did it start? And when did you join it?
World Peace Committee is the committee that was started in 202 countries. Some years back, it was started by Professor Giorgio Suntani from Indonesia. You don't join it, but these people, they have networks everywhere in the world. They just approach you and tell you that, yes, we have seen what you're doing for the communities, different communities. I've worked with many foundations. Some of them are bogus foundations. You'll start working with them. Along the way, you see that, here they just want the funding from the government. You see, because in South Africa, most of the people, if they do good, they only do it to be rewarded, especially by the government. They will start a foundation. You go to the schools. You dedicate your time and your resources from your heart, but you'll find that along the way, these people, they only want the funding. When they get the funding from the government, they disappear. So people will start to hate you. But fortunately for me, I see this thing early. Then I just remove myself and tell the community that, no, I'm no longer the part of this thing. I'm not going to do it. Yes, That's how we do it. There are many other entities where I serve as a peace ambassador, because I live to fight for the rights for every human being, stability on earth. I wish I had money enough to travel the whole world. Yes, I travel, but most of the time it's through sponsorships. If I had my own money enough, I would be everywhere, even in the places where there are physical fighting, like in the Ukraine and Russia, Palestine and Israel, and see what I can do. Because I even support the ministries where people are preaching the gospel. I put my money there every month, as little as I can afford, but I make sure that people, at least, they are being religious, because religious people cannot fight a lot, especially in Christianity. I know other religions can promote wars, but with Christianity I know that they don't promote war, they don't promote violence. So that's why I put my money in the Christianity movement.
Okay, and then what's one cultural misunderstanding that you feel that South Africans need to outgrow in order for us to be able to embrace social cohesion?
Okay, I know that you just know that I'm Prince Phuma Dlamini. Actually, I'm His Royal Highness Prince Phuma Dlamini. Prince is not my name. Prince is my title, because I'm born from the royal family.
Okay, wow.
You see, when you speak of the culture, especially our culture, Zulu culture, we are seen as people who are using culture to oppress women. There's the one of the what can I put it? But it's a misunderstanding of the culture.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, women in the Zulu culture, they are so protected, but the way it's conducted, it will mislead a person who didn't grow up with this culture. One of the things that we'll see from critical Zulu men is that he will not hug or kiss his wife in front of the children or in front of community. And the one thing that you'll tell yourself is that, oh, this man doesn't love his wife. Because we protect our kids. We don't want our kids to learn this thing at an early stage. We know that during these times, it is promoted that we call our wives honey in front of our children. We must show them that we love our wives. But the way in our culture we were taught is that you don't speak about the love words in front of the younger ones, because we protect them. We don't want them to start doing these things at an early age to prevent our teenage pregnancy and all those things. Yes, this is how we do things. And even with the food, I always talk about this thing. If people talking about Zulu men eating the whole chicken when children and the wife are being starved, that's how they look at it. But what I can tell you is that in the culture of the Zulu people, a wife is protected even with their health. That's why we don't give it, because of the oil. You see, a chicken comes with a lot of oil. So we don't want our wives, because we protect them from the things like cholesterol and BP. But the way it will be conducted, it will be seen as if we are being so harsh, because in every Zulu homestead, there must be a house for umama, indlu kagogo, because gogo must stay more than 100 years in every family to teach every generation, from this generation to another generation, to the third or to the fourth generations. So she is protected even with food. That's why we don't want them to eat chicken even today. we don't want them to eat eggs. You can talk about protein and everything, but our wives, we want them to eat amadumbe, we want them to eat all these veggies. And when we slaughter a cow, they have their own meat that is just prepared for them. You see, with the Zulu culture, meat was only eaten in July.
Okay.
Yeah, throughout the year, we will be eating veggies. Only a man could eat a chicken. Only a man. But every family will be eating veggies, fruits, veggies. Like we are vegetarian. But in July, that's a month that was dedicated for imgidi nisho njalo ngesixhosa, unveiling, all these ceremonies were conducted in July before the thunderstorm starts in August.
Okay.
Yes, because we have our own belief that when the thunderstorms comes and you start doing these things, ancestrals will be angry at you. So June, July, but not a lot in June, especially July. So we'll do everything, then we'll eat meat as we like, we'll do everything. Even during those days when we were doing the initiations in the mountains like any other nations, because we used to do these initiation schools. We were doing it only in winter. Then in July, boys will be back, then we'll be doing the ceremonies in July. Everything was done in July. Then we are done with meat. The only meat that you can eat during the year is from the wild animals.
That's actually very interesting. Yes. So when do you think all of that changed? And are there still places in the KZN that still uphold that culture?
No. There's no place in KZN and anywhere in South Africa, because the way we were defeated as the nation, even our mindsets were damaged. We can't even do anything that we like, we just follow. The thing that is now taken as a culture is to have that ancestral ceremony with 60 cases of beer, with a lot of wines and brandy and vodka. We drink like fishes now. Everywhere. And this thing is promoted by Abanumzane, our father and I have to buy 30 or 40, 50 cases for a community, for a small community. And I have to buy maybe 3 cases of whiskey. That's a culture. That's a culture in everywhere, you see. But on those days, we will have our own brew, which is umqombothi. That thing, it only has 3% of alcohol. Okay. The biggest is only 3% of alcohol. And it comes with some proteins in it because it's food, it's malt. Yeah, you get me, yeah. But now we go for alcohol that we don't even know what is put there, only the chemicals.
Okay. And then in your opinion, is there a bridge between corporate work and creative work?
Yes. You see, creative work is supposed to be independent, but most of the time it is supported by the corporate world. You cannot have a production company that is going to have its own audience unless it has to work with Netflix, which is the corporate. We have to work with MultiChoice, which is the corporate world. We have to work with BET, that's a corporate world. So it means that all the money that we can make, we must make it through these corporate people. It is very fortunate for the Americans because they do everything in a creative world. They have their Hollywood, they do that thing at their own. They don't care about the corporate world. The corporate world are the consumers to them. They have to buy the slots to do their adverts and all those things. Otherwise, the creative world is so independent in America. With us, we need about 100% to get going.
Do you think that the independence for the creative world is nearing for South Africans, or do we still have a long way to go?
Because of the South African history, it's very, very difficult. All the money in this country is in the corporate world, and the corporate world, unfortunately, 97 to 98% is being controlled by white people. So everything that you want to do, if you want to promote this channel and make it bigger, you have to knock at the corporate world.
True.
Yeah, without them, you are not going to do anything. Yeah, those are the people who are going to give you their adverts with their terms. Yeah, it's like the farmers in South Africa. If you're a farmer in South Africa, the buyer will tell you how much is going to pay for your trees. Yeah, they will tell you how much they are going to pay for your sugar cane. You are not going to bring sugar cane in Hewlett and tell them that, okay, listen here, I'm selling this in 10,000. No,
they'll tell you, no, this is how much we can give you.
Yes.
And because you want them to buy, you try and bargain minimum.
Yes, even if you're selling a cow, they have their own scale. You can't say that, okay, I have my cow, it's 25,000. They'll put it in their own scale. Then they'll tell you that our scale is telling us that we have to pay you 21,000.
Wow. Okay. And what does being a South African man in 2025 mean to you?
I think South African man, I don't want to be too political, but is a figure that is so challenged. One, because if you are a young man, the opportunities of getting employed is tiny. Then a girl, because of the history, they say that because women were not getting the opportunities, let us give it to them. As if when I was a young man, you were there benefiting before 1994. You were not there, you were not benefiting anything, but now you become the victim. They say that because you are a man, let us start with the woman. You grow up, you outreach, you're 35 years, you now become a man. You see that, okay, I can't work, let me just start a business. You go into a business world, trying to survive, then your life is becoming better, you want to grow the business. You said, okay, let me just apply for funding. They say that, no, let us start with the young women or the young ones. Because the women, even after the age of 36, they can still get funding because of their gender. With you as a man, they will say that men have been getting anything, but you were not even there when men were getting anything. And the man who was getting everything before 1994 was a white male, not a black man. A black man has always been a carpet in this country, but now, after 1994, they say, no, you are a man. Stand aside. Let us help the women. Let us help the young ones. You see, then you become frustrated. That's why you will see most of the older men, they will go in the space of taxi industry. When they have that money, if they are retrenched or being dismissed at work, they'll take their money and buy a kombi. Then they will shoot one another there because the space is so small. People are so many. You get my point? So men are so frustrated in South Africa. Those are highly depressed individuals amongst any other gender or age in South Africa.
I don't want to now make it a gender battle, but don't you think that women are also at a huge disadvantage? Because even though more women are being employed, the statistics say men are still being paid way more than women are.
Yes.
Especially in the acting industry, it's men who are getting paid more than women.
I'm not sure about that because I don't know the
well, that's what the stats are saying.
for everyone. I've never even checked it. But what I know is that white male have always been paid well. Maybe when a man is there, I think he is taking a space of a white male. That's why, because they don't want to jeopardize the white male in South Africa. Maybe we are so fortunate to get into a space of a white male, but I don't think we get exactly what the white male gets, but at least we will be bigger than the woman, because they don't want us to be far beyond our counterpart who are white males.
Okay. And do you think men are being misunderstood today? And what conversations do you think we need to be having more in regard to that?
Community must understand that men in South Africa are so frustrated. Are so frustrated because they can't provide. A man, I think, was made to be a provider. When a man becomes the recipient of provision from the wife or from the children, the man will be frustrated. Even if he's quiet, it's so painful that every month I have to ask my daughter to give me something. Yeah, I'll be brave enough to say, hey, when give me 500 man, you know that I didn't shoot this month. You see? Yeah, then it's so frustrating. It is really frustrating, but some other men, because of religion and speaking out with other men, they just accept it as it is normal. If you can go to any crash in South Africa in the morning, most of men are carrying abazukulu, carrying their daughters, their sons, taking them to school. And women are driving big cars going to work.
Do you think, this is a bit off topic now, but do you think that frustration is what is leading to the statistics of gender-based violence?
I cannot support anything that will lead to gender-based violence. But I agree with you that some of the statistics is being contributed that we are dealing with a frustrated man. If you're dealing with a broken person, you must know how to speak to that person. You can't speak anyhow.
Sure. Okay, I don't want us to get into too deep with that. But what would you want your future grandchildren to know about this current version of you?
Fortunately enough, we've just come back to me. I was speaking to my granddaughter yesterday. She's 11 years. She was counting her favorite celebrities, counting 3 from overseas, and she said the 4th one is Mkhulu wami. I said, oh,
okay.
I'm amongst those.
Mkhulu is a celebrity.
Yeah, oh, okay. Mkhulu is the 4th celebrity that I like. I thought, oh, okay, it's better. I think I have contributed to my grannies. I think even when I'm no longer here, they will go to YouTube, they will go to archives, they will see that Mkhulu was a great actor. I believe I am, even though I haven't got big roles that I would love to portray, but I think I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Okay, and getting into acting, a lot of people think the minute you are on TV, you are instantly rich. What is the actual truth, and why do you think people have that misconception about being on TV?
They just look at the characters.
Okay.
Yeah, our South African TV space, they always portray richness. We are not doing movies or soapies that will portray poverty in South Africa. It never happens. Even if they will portray people staying in the villages, we have seen shows like Aspire. People were rich there. The Zomos were rich. There were taxi people. And the Ndlovus were taxi people, even the Judas Ngwenya was a taxi person. They had beautiful houses in the estates, also having those villages houses in the village. Yes, we never say poverty. Maybe that is the only reason Tsotsi is the only movie that has won us big in the international stage, because they were portraying the poverty of a little young man in South Africa.
Of South Africa.
Yes. That's why every person thinks that we are rich. We are not rich, we are poor. It's even so hard for an actor to buy a car. If you can see the cars that they are driving.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
So I guess that sort of answers my next question, because I was gonna ask, do you think it's possible to live off acting comfortably in South Africa?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yes, I don't think so. We're doing it. And most of the time we're doing it out of love. It's a calling, like a Sangoma. It doesn't have any choice but is to do what is called for. Even if the people are not coming into her house, we'll never see her cutting the dreads or taking off every cloth that belongs to this ancestral calling. It's just like acting. We are there in acting, we're not making money, but we'll come back tomorrow and try again. We always live in hope that one day it will change. Our industry must change itself, because if you go to America, the actors are being paid even more than the producers and the editors and everybody, because it's a talent. But in South
also
Africa,
live off royalties, which is something we don't have in South Africa.
We don't have royalties, so it's very difficult to us. You will go to Mzansi Magic and act there. Once you are being paid once, that's it. But your movie will be on the screen for the next 8 years. And people always see you, they think that, hey, this person I see him every week on Mzansi Magic.
There's this actor, I think he's now more of a director. He's got a podcast with his wife. It's his wife who's mainly on the podcast. So they had an episode last week where they were speaking about a show that they had on SABC2. That show, it was airing when I was still in school. That was in just before 2009, 2008. I was still in school at that time. And they were saying it's still playing, and that's where they met. They have been married for 10 years, but they were dating for even longer. But it's still playing. So they were talking about how if there was royalties, they would be so rich.
I'm telling you.
Do you think we're gonna be having that? Do you think that is it something that the Department of Arts would need to be taking care of, or what, in terms of regulating for artists to get royalties?
You see, what is very difficult with the South African politics is that we are in a country of promises. When a new Minister of Arts and Culture comes into office, he will promise this, promise that. I'm going to change all this thing. People are suffering. I'm going to... But he's only waiting for his 5 years to come and go. Then back to square one. If politicians can take this thing very serious, maybe we can... This industry can create a lot of employment. They have failed to create employment as the politicians, because you can't create employment without being a friend to the corporate world. There is no government can create employment. If you want to create an employment, you have to pull the corporate world next to you, speak to them, give them confidence, then they'll create employment. Rich people in South Africa are sitting there in Stellenbosch with their billions of rands. They can start tomorrow building thousands of factories where we can, all of us, work from tomorrow. But they want the confidence from the government. So it's just that the government is being run by the black people, corporate is being controlled by the white people. You see, is that thing that we don't trust you. If we create employment, okay, you're working with the unionists, you are going to demand more from us, so how are we going to have a smooth relationship where we will see our profit? Because a person who is starting a business, is starting a business to make profits. You cannot shy away from that. But if people from corporate speaking to the government, and government is in one bed with the unionists, and the unionists, if they want chicken today, tomorrow they want a goat, a day after they want a cow, on that day they will want an elephant from the employer. Then the employer will end up closing down that employment factory or industry or whatever. So we have a very serious problem as the country. We need to sit down and speak about all these things. How do we bring back the corporate to create more employment? Because the employment is sitting there. You cannot stay with your 3 billion in the bank. You can even make more if you take it back and start creating employment. But it means that there is a problem, because those billions are sitting in their accounts for many billionaires of South Africa and million and multi-millionaires. They can't do anything.
So do you think that's why most actors are now working towards getting behind the scenes? Like they're becoming directors, they're becoming producers. Is it because maybe they're trying to stabilize their financial status?
Yes. That's why there's money, that's why there's job security.
Okay.
Yeah, you're being paid better, and you are being assured that even tomorrow you are working. With us, I don't know if I'm working tomorrow. It's only for today.
Okay. And if I was to give you the mic for 30 seconds, where the whole country would hear you at the same time, what would you say in that 30 seconds?
I would say that we don't have any choice as South Africans. We need to love one another, black, whites, Indians, and coloreds. God made it for all of us to be here. So let us just accept one another with our differences and start building this country positively.
Okay. And when you look back 10 years from now, what is the one thing you want to be most proud of?
I think I'm proud to have a family.
Okay.
Getting married, having children, staying together. The setup that I used to have when I was a child growing up with my two parents.
Okay. And what's something that you are currently still unlearning?
I think as a Zulu man, we have that stubbornness. At times, I become stubborn unnecessarily, so I'm still unlearning.
Still unlearning to be stubborn. Okay, that's a good thing. It's a good. I like it when people say, "I am stubborn." I see that and I realize it, so I want to unlearn it. The first step starts with realizing. So you're halfway there. Let's get into what I call Fun 5 with Mushe.
Okay.
It's just fun. It's 5 fun questions. Well, I don't know if they're fun, but I say they are fun.
Okay.
The first one is Song of the Week.
Song of the week?
Your current Song of the Week.
I don't think I have one because I don't listen a lot of music these days.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like when I was growing, I will tell you, because we used to listen to the American music. Yes, Beverly Hills, Maze, listening to Timmy Thomas. We're listening to that music. Yes, the Mighty OJs and all those type of music. For now.
Okay, what's the last song that you remember listening to? The last song recently.
I never listen to music.
You don't listen to it? Even when you're on the road, you don't listen to music.
I play radio, they play music. I don't even put more focus to that. Because the kind of music that is being played now is quite different from the music we used to play.
Okay.
Yeah, but Radio 2000, because I can promote Radio 2000. I listen to it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, they can play the kind of music that you love.
All right. Yeah. Movie or series of the week?
It will be Hawaii 5-4.
Okay, Hawaii 5-0. Oh, okay. I know of it. I think it's my brother or my dad who watched it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Between
yeah.
the two of them.
There's a policy in Hawaii.
Between the two of them. And then I'm guessing you're not on TikTok, ne?
No, I'm not.
Okay. YouTuber of the week then. Because surely you do watch YouTube, right?
And I watch a lot of sports. There's a Kosovan Nation TV or TV Nation, but it's a Kosovan Nation TV that is hosted by Mpilo.
Okay.
Yes, he's my YouTuber. Even
Okay.
my granddaughter knows that. Oh, Mkolo, listening to this man. Yes.
Okay.
Mpilo.
The current quote that you are living by.
Umuntu omuhle olalelayo.
Okay, umuntu omuhle olalelayo. Okay, maybe I'll try and translate that to English, but I would think ukuthi umuntu omuhle olalelayo is I don't know how to translate, but it's Zula story.
Umuntu omuhle olalelayo.
But basically, a good person is he who listens.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, one skincare product that you are living by, whether it be. Oh, okay. I was about to explain. Okay, last two questions. What's one thing that you wish I had asked you today?
Akukho engathi specific. Ngicabanga ukuthi ubuze yonke into engicabanga ukuthi yenze ngakhuluma kakhulu.
Okay. And when all is said and done, what would you want Prince Phuma Dlamini to be remembered as?
I want to be remembered as a good ambassador of peace and a very good actor.
Okay. Alright, thank you so much for having me. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I will put, you do have Facebook, right? Which
No.
social media? You don't have any social
I
media
have
accounts?
Instagram.
You've
I
got
have
Instagram.
Twitter.
Okay, I will put his social media handles down below. Please do look forward to Utei Black
Gold.
Black Gold. That is what he will be acting on next. And until the next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.